when people yell and scream. When you yell or you scream and you're angry at something and you want to express your frustration, the frustration that you feel is real, but the frustration that you exhibit is not necessarily real, it's true. We can wonder why we get angry. We can wonder why we need to express anger. But when we don't express anger the right way, anger can be the thing that gets out of control. And expressing your anger with words or your volume of voice can lead to you throwing hands and getting pissed and so ticked that you certainly can possibly seek violence as your answer. And violence is not the way for people to answer any problems that they can solve with words, when they can solve without yelling or screaming. But sometimes yelling and screaming can help you to get further down the road to finding a resolution to what problem caused you to yell and scream at anyone at all. If you're in a room, if you're in any room at all with one or more people, and you begin to yell and scream, you'll be heard. But the point of what you're trying to make may not be heard. What people will focus on is the fact that you are yelling and screaming rather than talking in a reasonable way, if a reasonable way to talk is what is expected in the room with one or more people. And if you argue in a way that's always the yell and the scream, and you're always trying to figure out how to be the one that yells louder, yells last, or says the last word that's the loudest yell, or the loudest point, or you're the one who drops the mic at the end and makes their final point because they yelled loud and the other person just didn't have an answer for you. They don't have an answer for you because maybe they don't want to yell and scream back at you, or they don't want to yell and scream at all. People that yell and scream can feel like they're the answer to a solution simply because other people are going to shut up once they start to yell and scream. But if people shut up when you yell and scream and there's no real resolution to what the whole point of the argument was, then all you're doing is yelling and screaming. Anyone can stop arguing to someone who yells and screams. It doesn't mean that the yeller or the screamer, same thing is not true. The yeller yells with anger. The screamer yells with fury. And the fury is the thing that people just don't want. They'll walk away from an argument not giving a crap whether or not they win it or don't. If you got to yell and scream at people, don't yell and scream at them the way that people yell and scream at people for no good reason. When you're screaming and yelling at someone, when you got a road rage rash on your mind because somebody cut you off or somebody did something that you couldn't quite tell was the right thing, wrong thing, or something that you wish they didn't do or wish they would do, or they didn't turn the right way or they didn't turn the wrong way or they didn't turn towards you or didn't turn at all when you wanted them to turn, or didn't get out of the way when you wanted to go ahead and pass them because they were in your way even though there was nowhere for them to go because they're going so slow. You just like, get out the way, man. And start yelling and screaming at them, but they move over finally or get off the road, and you got the next guy right in front of them that was always there in the first place. What are you yelling and screaming at for? You're not an idiot, but you're pretty close to it. But you won't feel you're an idiot because they got out of the way. But you're in your car and they can't tell if you're yelling and screaming. Really, they might see you flailing your arms and pointing a finger or something like that. But somebody who's got a car in front of them and can't get out of the way, left or straight, and they can only pull off the road, why are they going to pull off a road for yelling and screaming? They can't do anything except stay in their lane, stay in their spot, because nobody's moving faster no matter how much they yell and scream. Road rage is one of the most asinine reasons that someone can yell and scream and get into a fight, is what God tells me. You're a fool to fight over road rage. You're a fool to fight over a road exchange or a road disagreement, a road anything that your road doesn't need to be about, because if you're driving and all you got to do is get from point A to point B, or you're just chilling, relaxing, having a good time, why would a stranger ruin your good time or your drive from point A to point B simply because they said they did something dumb in front of you? Or not to you, but just because you were there in the way and they didn't mean it, but you start yelling and screaming at them because they're dumb for having no way of knowing how to drive or notice what's around them, especially the most important person on the road, you. And if you're that important, then when somebody does something that you don't even care about and you yell and scream because they're not really doing anything but just sitting there, why are you yelling and screaming? Don't yell and scream at people for them not doing anything because you're the one who's moving at a different speed and you want to go ahead and move at a faster speed. And the faster speed you want to move at is the speed that they're not going to move because they aren't moving at the same speed because they got a different life and a different way to do things and a different way of being. And you're yelling and screaming to them because they ain't complying or living up to your standard of how somebody should be moved at the moment that you're moving and yelling and screaming and on your fire to get somewhere, nowhere fast. And they're just chilling. Why get mad? There's not a reason to get mad. But when there is, it can be ugly. It can be wrong to get that angry. But there can be a reason to get mad. But is there a reason to get out of the car and go ahead and kick somebody's door or go ahead and punch somebody in the face or start yelling and slamming on their window to make a point and try and scare them just to express your point? There's no reason for anyone in a road incident of rage that inspires rage that they should ever do that. There's no point to do that. None. There's no reason why anyone should ever get out of their car and go after somebody. If somebody is deliberately trying to run you off the road, then you call the cops, you pull over, and you let them be. You don't sit there and play road rage. I'm going to run you off the road because I'm going to run you off the road first for no fucking reason except to be a dumbass like you. You risk other people's lives in your road rage and you get back at them because they're trying to run you off the road. There's no point to do that. There's no reason. You endanger other people's lives by being the road rage lunatic of no reason except to be a dumbass at being a road rage hound. And if you're road raging about anything at all, then you're road raging to the wrong person. The person that's being the road rage animal isn't you. The person that's being the road rage animal is no one at all. You're not mad at anyone. There's something inside you that makes you angry quick, that flips that switch, that makes you quit on being calm, that makes you wish you could just rage all day, all night. Maybe not. Who knows why? But when you're angry at the flip of a switch and there's something inside you that makes you that way, and that person is not the reason why. That person that cuts you off, that flips you off, that fucks you off by saying fuck off or piss off or doing anything off is not the reason you get angry. They're the cause of nothing. They just flip nothing. You get mad at them. They didn't do anything worth you getting that mad to want to hurt somebody, get out of your car, punch through a window, punch your face, do a sideways kick, or get shot or shoot someone. There's no reason for rage, for incidents during driving time, be things that people get hurt about. And that's just my opinion, because I'm not really a road rage kind of person. I'm not really all that about getting angry at people when they're driving around just trying to get from point A to point B. So if you think a road rage is cool, not cool. If you think a road rage is dumb, it's dumb. If you think you're the one who does road rage and you think, why is he calling me dumb? You're not dumb because you listened to all the way over to the end of this. And I'm going to tell you why you didn't listen. Because I was going to tell you you're a dumbass for listening to the end of this because you're a road rage idiot that needs to hear about road rage. Not me. I don't have road rage. I just want to do something to see if I can get the road rage people to listen to the end. Oops. Did I just make you mad? No. I hope not. That'd be anger for no reason. Would it? Or would it not be angry for no reason? Heck, I don't know. When God tells me to do this stuff and I just go, okay, just go ahead and help me a little bit. And he tells me, all right, what are we going to talk about, Richard? And I go, I don't know. I'm your empty vessel. And he goes, okay. And I just start talking about road rage. I had no idea stuff about road rage. All right. So road rage is serious. Or road rage is wrong. And road rage is something that we should try to not have with each other because it's better to get along. It's true. And if you love to road rage, you're dangerous to people. If you hate road rage, you're not dangerous to people. You're cautious. It's good, right? But enjoy your drive. Enjoy your confidence in driving. Enjoy the fact that you have a car that you can get from point A to point B because it really is a blessing. When you don't have a car, you got to walk everywhere. You can't really foot rage. You can flip off cars that cut you off at the intersection. Or you can find reasons to get angry for anything. And if anger is something that you got a problem with, it's for another reason than the things that happen on the street. Because if those things happen to you all the time, why do they happen to you all the time? All the time is not really what happens to me ever. I never have reasons to road rage at people. And if people say, nah, man, road rage is a real thing, and I've always got a reason to road rage, man, because people are stupid. People are idiots. People are always getting in the way. It's always happening all the time. I can't remember the last time it happened to me, ever. I'm not a lunatic driver, but people don't road rage at me, too. No, I can't even remember. Maybe 3 years ago, but it was just somebody cutting me off and then cutting me off, and then I'm not giving a shit, and they kind of looking at me and driving off like they didn't give a shit. It wasn't cool, but I knew that they didn't give a shit about hitting me is what I thought. Maybe true, maybe not. So if road rage is something that you do, please dial that shit back, dial that shit down, dial that shit into neutral, because that's going to hurt you, going to hurt somebody else, and I don't want to see anybody hurt over road rage. Road rage is serious when it happens. Road rage can be deadly when it happens, and road rage is something that I know is wrong, and God tells me it is wrong, wrong, wrong. So God bless you all on the road. Be safe, be nice to each other, and be safe with each other when you have a little disagreement, no matter what. Amen.